Time to check in on our social life. Paul Pierce, trending again. What'd you do this time, Paul?
I'm just speaking facts.
After yesterday, he claimed on the show that he was probably the best pure scorer in NBA history. We were talking about Kevin Durant and LeBron James describing him as the most equipped scorer in NBA history. KD commented on the Speak post with that clip saying, quote, I didn't really see a weakness in Paul's game. I understand where his confidence comes from. Paul?
I'm just saying. No, this is what I said. I told this to Darnell. I said, look, you can take all the great scores in NBA history. I can do everything they can do. Scoring-wise. At least one thing I'll be better than them at. Like, say, like, who's considered, like, Jordan, right? Jordan probably considered that I'm a better three-point shooter than Jordan. We talk about KD, a lot of time KD is mentioned. And KD, he got a lot. Man, he's tough. But I think if there's one thing I got better than KD is I probably was a better post-up player.
Back to the rim.
Back to the rim.
But when we talk about KD and the thing that the main thing that LeBron was saying is a separator is his efficiency.
Yeah, the efficiency is it. I'm really referring to the type of ways I can score.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can score it any way possible. Post, pick and roll, mid-range three, off the down screen, off the flare, back. Like, I can score in every single way imaginable in basketball.
Well, this is a NBA Finals MVP.
Well, that's not
NBA
really,
champ and top 75 players.
that's not the text messages I was getting yesterday.
So
They was coming up with some craziness. I was like,
like the thing is, I've never been a scoring champ. I'm really talking about the different ways I can score.
yeah, of
Like,
course.
and when you hear them say I had no weaknesses in offense,
None, zero.
like that's what I'm saying. I can score in every way
From every
imaginable.
spot on the court.
Like if you wanted
he
the
can score.
fadeaway post like Kobe and Jordan, I had that in my game. If you want the Durant, hezzy pull, T-Mac, I had all of that. You know, the three-point shot off the dribble, not off the spot up, I had all of that.
Talk. Let 'em know.
Mid-range, step back from three, step back from two, spot, like all of it.
Come on,
That's
man,
what I'm
go
saying.
right here. Man, go to give it to him. Man, pop that thing.
I got a big bag.
Man, that thing, I can't lift this desk. My bag is this. Man, I can't lift this desk. Size of this desk.
Well, I love when you talk that talk. Let them know.
That's what you get for making us work on a holiday. Damian Lillard is also a guy who can get a bucket. Lillard is recovering from an Achilles injury, and he was released by the Bucks earlier this week. Dame posted after his status after the release, channeling some of his skills as a lyricist. He said, they call it a gamble at this stage. Tell them the jackpot. Hashtag to be continued.
Man.
So, Paul, will a team be hitting the jackpot with Dame?
Man, that's tough when you come off an Achilles injury and you kind of like, you a guard. You know, I've seen guys come back from Achilles injuries a la Durant. And we're going to see what happens with, you know, Tatum. We've seen Kobe come back. But these guys are like 6'6", 6'7" guys, wingmen. When you get it from a little guy, you know, who isn't as explosive as these guys, as these guys are, it's going to be a little more difficult because the guard position requires a little more speed. It requires a little more oomph when you get to the basket, whereas you're not 6'6", 6'7", 6'10", 6'11". I truly believe that Dame may be coming back to a backup situation. The way the league is going with these guards are a lot faster, and it's a young man's game. I understand he's going to be a step slow. You know, as you get older, the lift isn't there anymore. It's going to be tougher for him to finish at the rim. He's going to probably be more of a shooter at this stage in his career. But I would love to see him on the Celtics as a backup point guard. You know, give us some depth, and occasions can start, I feel. But, man, Dame is so great. It's just hard to see him go down this way. But I have to see how he responds to this Achilles injury. But if he comes back, I think, you know, he'll have a couple more years. But at the tender age of 34, be 35, it's going to be tough.
No, it's all about the injury. And I'm betting that he comes back fully healthy, even though his age is a little long in the tooth. I feel like he could still do some of the same things that he's done before if he's healthy. And when you start talking like that, you start thinking about teams that he could possibly play for, what makes the most sense. And for me, L.A. You already know what I'm going to say.
What a shocking turn of events.
No, but check this out,
You
though.
want him for the Celtics, and you want him for the Lakers. Who could have predicted?
I'm not just saying that.
Guess what team I would like Dame to go to?
Miami.
The Miami Heat.
No, but look, Joy, check this out, though.
Totally unbiased.
You just literally, but here's why I say the West Coast and the Lakers. And Minnesota needs somebody to help Ant-Man out.
No.
The Celtics, hold on. The Celtics, that's a possibility. But here's why I say the West Coast. From the Bay Area, 45-minute flight. Mm-hmm. Family's still up in Portland right now. Okay? We need somebody else to run the point guard position for us in the future, because LeBron will eventually be gone in terms of that. So that opens up those sort of avenues for us. Plus, you led off saying he drops what, bars? Mm-hmm. Why wouldn't you want to be in L.A.? Think about it. Wow, and he has a future in the rap game?
Yes, of course he does.
Why wouldn't you want to be in L.A.?
He drops what, bars?
I sound like a cornball. Is that right? Is that what I sound like? I'm a long way from corny, so the internet just know that.
Not corny.
Yeah, you're a long way from it. But no, seriously though, if we were to get him out here, it makes all the sense in the world. And I understand what Paul is saying. 35 years old, he turns 35, July 15th, so going to be a little older. Mm-hmm. But players play longer now than they did, it feels like, age-wise, than they did in the past. You start looking at these dudes are old, man.
I still think he can contribute to a championship team and has
Paul want to put him on the bench.
It's obvious. Well, Paul's concerns. The Achilles injury is a very hard injury to come back from. Like, it's not a small injury. But he's going to have a significant amount of time to recover from it before he's back in action in any capacity. So obviously he's essentially has a year off.
So he'll be 35.
He'll be 36.
Then come back at 36.
He'll be basically 36.
See, so Kobe, he tore his at 34 also and played 2 more seasons.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he is going to play for another 5 or 6 seasons, but I do think when he's back, his experience, his ability to shoot the ball, and what he brings on the floor, I think is still extremely valuable to a team that has a strong lineup in depth. Other than our 3 favorite teams, where's another great place
but all those teams
for him
are
to end up? They are. Obviously, the Heat were interested before he went to the Bucks, and that's where he wanted to go.
I'm betting he's going to be a Laker. That's my bet.
So you think he'll be a Laker? If he doesn't end up with the Lakers, who's another team that could use him?
I
Minnesota
think
can use him.
He could be a great backup on a championship caliber team. That's why I said backup.
No, I understand, but it's also his injury. You're more talking about his injury.
And his injury. Yeah, because of his injury. And, at his age, at this stage, before the injury, it was tough on him on the defensive end in Milwaukee.
Yeah, I understand.
Against these young guards. So now I feel like his best role, if you want to maximize the next 3 or 4 years, if he wants to play.
But he ain't thinking that way. And he ain't talking that way. It sounds like, to me, he feels good about his rehabilitation coming forward.
Well, you're not really going to know nothing about yourself until you get back on the court to see how your body responds. When you go through injuries, you want to stay optimistic and you want to believe that you can get back to where you were. And that's fine. But I think the realization is on a championship team, he'll be a great backup.
Let's talk about 2 of those teams interested in Dame Lillard. The Lakers currently have the 7th best odds to win a title, with the Warriors right behind them with the 8th best odds to win it all. Steph Curry and company made it a round further than the Lakers, but met the same fate after Steph got injured, losing to the Timberwolves in a gentleman's sweep.
Watch out.
So, Paul, who is more likely to win another title, LeBron or Steph?
I'm going to have to go with Steph on this because I feel like Steph has more years left in the tank than LeBron, because there's a lot of speculation this could be LeBron's last year based on, him signing that 1 year. So I have to just play the odds. If Steph, I see, can play, just not too long ago we heard, I don't know if his dad or somebody said he can play well into his Steve Kerr, or somebody said he can play well into his 40s.
Yeah, it was his dad.
It was his dad. I believe it. And so in saying that says that looks like another 5 years. So I'll give it to Steph, knowing that he has a bigger window of opportunity.
I feel like LeBron is positioned right now, like this year, based on the Ayton acquisition once he signs. Then obviously a slimmed down Luka. I had to throw that in there because Paul don't care about the slim down. He had 38 days.
Still going to give you the same number. We're going to average 40 now.
Then you obviously, LeBron he wants to try to go out as a champion if this is his last year playing basketball, and I'm sure that some other moves will come. Now, the Warriors are interesting. You got them at 8th, where the Lakers are 7th, plus 1,400 for the Lakers, plus 1,800 for the Warriors. So even the odds makers think that the Lakers have a better shot at doing it. I just feel like same thing with Jimmy Butler, same thing with Luka. You get them both for a full season opposed to, midway. Now they get to start with you in October.
Yeah.
They get to go through training camp with you. So I feel like that's an advantage for the Lakers more so than it is for Golden State.
Yeah, Steph having more shots at it would, essentially kind of by default make you say that he has a better chance. But if I'll just limit it to this year, since we are assuming this
year
might be LeBron's last year, and Steph is going to play for more time after LeBron retires. But I think that the Lakers have a better chance this year.
But even if you extend it out beyond this year, the Lakers are younger in the situation where...
Yeah, but it's not Lakers or Warriors. It's LeBron or Steph.
Yeah, I understand that. But I would think if it goes a certain way...
LeBron might come back?
You just never know. You know what I'm saying? You just never know.